Hello, everyone, and good morning. I hope that you're doing well. Thank you for joining us again. Sorry, I mixed up the time. I had put 7:30 instead of 7, but it'll usually be 7. Let's just take a moment to connect where we are. Take an assess of our body mindfully with no judgment of our mind, our breathing, our body. Let's just take a scan. And wake up ourselves here. Today's weather, actually, the light has started to come forward a little bit. A little more light this morning as compared to yesterday. Now that we are in the Lunar New Year, very important. Also, the weather seems a little more mild. Let's go ahead and stretch. Move our shoulders around. Neck. And the angle. The angle. Long circle. Let us prepare our body for sitting meditation. If you have incense for your body, please apply that at this time. Okay, let us begin with our 3 pranayama breaths, breathing through our nose and out through our mouth for the count of 3, 5, and 7. Breathing in, hold, exhale, breathe in, hold, exhale, breathe in, hold, exhale. Now let us prepare our body. Hands in Hokai join, ears over your shoulders, and tuck in, mouth closed, tongue to the roof of the mouth. And at the sound of the bell, let us close our eyes and begin meditation. Take a moment and release your attention. And at this time, just please take a quick scan, mindfully without judgment, over your mind, breathing, and body. Bringing your attention more back to your body. Move your fingers, your toes, body gently. Let's breathe in through our nose. Hold. Exhale. I hope all of you have been enjoying the video series that we've been posting on Patreon concerning the last couple workshops. We had a really wonderful workshop in Rochester with our Sangha there. And also we posted the one from Seattle from December. So there's many parts to that, about 10 parts. That's how long the lecture was for that. So right now I think we're just on part 2. Also, I put out the last podcast for the last section of meditation, and today we'll continue with the next part of the idea of hindrance and problems of meditation. As we develop, as we talked about before, as we develop the mental capacities, the capabilities, and that we use in meditation, for instance, pranayama, dhyana, asana, all of the limbs of yoga, they become or should become completely natural and normal. And as we were also stating before, when we're practicing meditation and we're actually developing the good habits, and being able to stop or restrain the bad habits, so too are those activities of the mind that can hinder our practice and even defeat it. Traditional meditation literature identifies 5 specific hindrances to meditation that which have to be overcome before we can make real progress or deep progress. And understanding them, of course, is invaluable because the purpose of these teachings are to give us certain points to contemplate, to be aware of in our practice. Because a lot of times some people may practice for a very long time, and this is the reason for that teacher and Sangha is essential. They may practice for a long time, but not actually be practicing Buddhist meditation. Because as I stated at the beginning, there are many types of meditation with different goals. So it's very important that we understand what exactly the practice of meditation is for our practice, especially as followers of the Lotus Sutra. In daily life, these so-called hindrances actually actually have a necessity, purpose, and are useful. Once you're familiar with them, you can see how they work. It becomes obvious that neither suppression or punishment against these aspects will help you surmount or even grow your practice. So just because something is useful in daily life in the practice of meditation, we may have to restrain that. We may have to condition that for the specific purpose or aim. That's why understanding, as I said before, the aim and purpose is essential. Once you're familiar with them, you see how they work. It becomes obvious that we shouldn't suppress or punish ourselves, push them away. On the other hand, positive reinforcement, as we talked about before, of other natural tendencies of the mind that oppose these hindrances works very well. We talked about the idea of skandhas, right? That these actual imprints into our mind, these photographic imprints that we're having moment after moment after moment, we are able to actually, just like the klesha, which are the obstructions, we change them to aklesha, non-obstructions, which allows us to formulate our mind in the proper direction. Remember, everybody will face challenges in their practice, and they're not unique to you. They're not personal shortcomings. So all of this meditation, same for everyone, just expressed differently, um, uh, seen with a little variation, but at the core, it's the same issue. That's why we can practice the same practice and study as Shakyamuni Buddha, our founder. More importantly, and very fortunately, these hindrances are well understood and there are actual very effective methods for resolving each one of them. So as we go through the week, we'll talk more in depth about these hindrances. But I want you to, first of all, understand the, how do you say, the caution that in this, we have to, in a way, take a very different stance than we do in our daily life. That even though something is useful in the daily life, we have to understand where meditation comes into play, because sometimes another thing that people do is they conflate and misunderstand and try to connect practice and daily life, even though we talk about that all the time. But meditation and chanting and gongyo is very specific, because we create a specific place, a dojo that is purified. We do a very specific thing for a specific outcome, for a specific goal. Whereas in daily life, those, of course, attributes are attributed to our body and mind because of what we practice gives us a core, a touchstone, as people say. However, we cannot automatically, we as Buddhists do not automatically exclude or even, how you say, as it says in the sutra, do not even begrudge your body. That means begrudge being human. First of all, we realize how important it is to be human, that we can actually, in this particular situation, actually remove or deal with karma, change karma. That's very significant. Um, and then the other is that these aspects allow us to live, to be alive. So there's certain karmas and certain attributes that are attributed to being alive, and we should understand that and not begrudge them. But in our practice and study, we understand what we are doing, right? And what we're focusing on. That sometimes those things that we use in daily life that are a necessity in the practice are not necessarily useful. So therefore, we learn how to restrain them, but we do not think that we can remove them. Same with samskara and klesha, that they can't actually be removed, they can be purified. So therefore, one of the things that they do is that they reverse them. This is very basic yogic practice. Um, People automatically want to get to the idea of enlightenment where they're kind of so lessened that they no longer have the voice that they did. That takes time. So the earliest, the easiest way that they have is to change those obstructions to non-obstructions, and those negative samskaras to positive. And that is based through the teaching. So that is why Nichiren Shonin always talks about practice and study. Those are the very supports in our practice, okay? And as you can see, it supports every aspect of our life, okay? So thank you very much, everyone, for studying together. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you're able to live your life with the vow to attain enlightenment. See you on Friday. Thank you very much.